Health problems. Introduction. Hello students. Today we are going to talk about a very inevitable topic. Health problems in India. We all have gone to a physician at some point of time to be treated, be it a severe flu or a mild headache. All I want to ask you is, did you work all day even when you had fever? I can obviously guess. The answer is surely a no. You would have realized how much of work would have been put off because of inability for just a day. Now think this in a broader sense. What could possibly be the condition if the work of hundreds of people falling sick in a day is to be put off? Just imagine the effect it would have on productivity of our nation. This ultimately affects us economically, thus socially too. For example, let us take the case of a petroleum tanker driver. If he falls sick, the work he was assigned with would be disturbed. Even though one tanker seems to be comparatively lesser in a magnitude, it does produce a loss for that particular day. Apart from this, the driver loses his day wage and it's cost his family a day's expense. Our health is as important as our work. Whatever may it be, studying, browsing, cycling, or even watching our favorite movie. We will study more about the health problems, analyze the causes for such health issues, list some preventive techniques, and suggest few treatment procedures and remedies for the alignment. We will also discuss the various initiatives by the government. Common health problems among people. Have you heard of the proverb, health is wealth? Well, it gives out a very literal meaning in our case. Students, today we are going to have a look on various health problems that could affect people and its impact on our nation as a whole. We have so far learned about the greatness of India. A country has enough potential to be a superpower in the world. However, a major roadblock in this regard is the health issue in India. The general health standard of India is extremely bad. It is a shame that even in this modern world, there are kids who die out of malnutrition. But this doesn't mean that India is still lagging in medical advancements. In fact, India is the emerging leader in medical advancements with many skilled health professionals. However, the quality of healthcare still remains a bag. Some of the current health issues that need to be looked into are spread of epidemics. There are some diseases like dengue and flu which spread quite quickly in vast areas because of improper sanitary conditions and lack of preventive measures. The population living in the rural areas is too vulnerable to such kind of diseases which spread easily. Smoking. Over 1 million people die every year due to smoking tobacco. Smoking causes serious diseases such as lung cancer, emphysema, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, COPD, HIV and AIDS. India ranks number 4 in the world with the number of people suffering from AIDS. The major regions in India affected with the disease are the southern and northeastern regions. National AIDS Control Organization is set up to keep an eye on the spread of the disease. Malnutrition. There is large number of population suffering from malnutrition. Do you know which group of people this is mostly composed of? Yes, these are children who are under the age of 7. In the rural areas, about 1/3 of the children born are underweight. This issue needs to be looked into with broader and effective prospects. Pediatric HIV/AIDS. 21,000 are infected each year through parent to children transmission. Rural mass is said to be the backbone of our nation. Since India is basically an agriculturally dominant nation and agricultural activities are more prevalent in the rural area, the health condition of people in rural parts is vital as it affects our economy greatly. Although there is a considerable medical advancement in India. The rural parts are still neglected the basic medical facilities. Hence, three groups of infections are widespread in rural areas. First, diseases in the gastrointestinal tract such as diarrhea, amoebiasis, typhoid fever, infectious hepatitis, worm infestations, and poliomyelitis. Second, diseases that are carried in the air through coughing, sneezing, or even breathing, such as measles, tuberculosis, whooping cough, and pneumonia. Third, infections which are more difficult to deal with include malaria, filariasis, and Kala Azar. Irrigation brings with it malaria and filariasis. Pesticides use has produced a resistant strain of malaria. The ditches, gutters, and culverts dug during the construction of roads and expansion of cattle ranches, for example, are breeding places for snails and mosquitoes. Every third person in the world suffering from leprosy is an Indian. Health is one of the most important aspects of our lives. However, it is also one of the most neglected aspects. We are worried about our education, merits in college, career, salary hike, weather, traveling, increasing fuel rates, and almost everything around us. But seldom do we pay any importance to our health, at least not until we face a problem. Only when our back pains, we will get off the computer system, despite knowing the fact that continuous sitting is way too harmful. Causes of ailments. Various ailments have various causes. It may depend on the living conditions, surrounding environment, lifestyle, or one's habit. Do you know what the main cause of health problem in India is? Recently, it was estimated that 40% of India's health problems are linked to smoking. There is also the outspread of HIV/AIDS, smallpox, obesity, and tuberculosis. In addition to these, there are certain diseases that are prevalent in India due to negligence and immoral practices. For example, the food quality is very poor in certain regions. Some medical officers are most corrupt so that they stock up medicines provided by the government and sell them or use them in their private clinics. Another important fact with respect to diseases is that major sections of the children do not get the required vaccinations done. A very big percentage of the children die before crossing the age of 5. This is a very shameful fact, isn't it? Another section that should be specifically mentioned is about the people living in rural areas of our country. Even though urban diseases like obesity don't affect them generally, the socio-economic, cultural, and political onslaughts arising partly from the erratic exploitation of human and material resources have endangered the naturally healthy environment. For example, loss of access to healthy and nutritious food, clean air and water, etc. The basic nature of rural health problem is attributed also to lack of health literature and health consciousness, poor maternal and child health services. The other reason why rural health is deteriorating is that the doctors of the present day westernized hospital based medical education and training assigned at rural areas do not tend to show an inclination towards their duty in meeting the needs of the rural public. I would like to share a few shocking information from a recent study conducted by the Rural Medical College on the involvement of general practitioners. They are: first, 80% of general practitioners practice allopathic medicine without proper training. Second, 73% doctors consider cost to be the most important factor when prescribing a drug without considering pharmacological properties. Third, about 67% doctors had knowledge of various national health programs, but only 33% participated. Fourth, Over 68% doctor received information regarding the health programs through the media, and only 28% received information through public health staff. Fifth, 65% of general practitioners do provide services to pregnant women, but only 35% registered them. Sixth, almost all general practitioners routinely handle cases of diarrhea, but only 29% know the exact composition of oral dehydration solution ORS. Amazingly, none knew the right method to prepare the ORS packet. While the current need for rural areas is medical and paramedical manpower, such as social physicians, public health nurses and midwives, and paramedical workers, the country has been concentrating on producing specialist doctors. Prevention of health related problems. When I hear about the word prevention, the proverb, prevention is better than cure, keeps ringing in my head. It is wisely said, so because it is better to stay healthy and fit than to suffer the effects of a problem after it comes and to find a cure for it. It applies to all fields, especially medical and health sector. There are many health issues in India, and one of the most important health problem that people face is the problem of obesity and spondylitis. But these days, teenagers are getting this problem at rapid speed through injections are now available for this disease to cure, and that too should be injected when the child is at the age of 6. Immunity problems, malnutrition, iodine deficiency, filariasis, hepatitis, cancer are some of the diseases seen in early born babies. All these diseases are transferred from mother to baby. Some diseases may spread from one person to another. These diseases can be prevented only by preventing the spread of pathogen. Here are a few tips to be followed in order to prevent a disease from spreading. To prevent the spread of diseases, wash your hands thoroughly with warm water and soap. Many illnesses can be transmitted through the air, and you can pick them up just by breathing air that was coughed or sneezed into. If you sneeze, grab a tissue and cover your nose. Completely cover your mouth when you cough. Wash your hands frequently. Don't touch others, and properly dispose of any tissues or products that contain your germs from coughing and sneezing. If you have got a disease, stay home until you are better and not contagious. Immunization can be effective in stopping the spread of disease, keeping you from both getting and giving a disease. India ranks 4th with respect to the number of HIV/AIDS cases. Human immunovirus, or HIV as it is generally called, is the virus responsible to cause a disease termed AIDS by preventing the body to produce an immunity in affected patients. Hence, patients affected by HIV do not die of the disease. Instead, they die of other diseases such as TB, since they are easily susceptible due to lack of immunity. You may now be having a question, why haven't they found out medications to treat HIV? After all, it's just a virus. The answer is many medicines and vaccines have been developed to treat AIDS, but the peculiarity of the virus is it changes its DNA traits as per its survival requires. Hence, a specified composition of medicine cannot be used as the characteristics of virus keeps on changing. A good news for our nation is combating AIDS is that a United Nations report has said India has registered a 50% dip in number of new cases of HIV infections in this decade. According to the UN report, the number of new infections was 0.24 lakh, 24,000 a year, 10 years ago, while it is 0.12 lakh a year at present. Coming back to the rural scenario, they have their typical lifestyle and ailments according to their lifestyle. Rural people in India in general and tribal populations in particular have their own beliefs and practices regarding health. Some tribal groups still believe that a disease is always caused by hostile spirits or by the breach of some taboo. They therefore seek remedies through magic or religious practices. On the other hand, some rural people have continued to follow rich, undocumented, traditional medicine system. In addition to the recognized cultural systems of medicine such as Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and naturopathy to maintain positive health and to prevent disease. Cure and treatment of ailment. Well, students, in this session we are going to learn about how various diseases are cured and treated. The terms cure and treatments do not mean the same. The term cure means that after medical treatment, the patient no longer has that particular condition anymore. Some diseases can be cured. Others, like hepatitis B, have no cure. The person will always have the condition, but medical treatments can help to manage the disease and bring it under control so that it doesn't pose a fatal threat to a patient. Medical professionals use medications, therapies, surgery, and other treatments to help lessen the symptoms and effects of a disease. For example, doctors treat athletes' foot using antifungal creams and sprays that kill the fungus causing the disease. When a disease can't be cured, doctors often use treatments to help control or even eliminate its symptoms and effects. For example, doctors treat people with diabetes using insulin injections and other methods so that they can continue to live normal lives. So, some people will need insulin treatments for the rest of their lives. Scientists and doctors are constantly developing new medicines and vaccines at the outbreak of every epidemic. If you could remember a few years back, a disease named SARS peeped up. Vaccines were successfully invented to combat the disease. Now, in recent days, an outbreak of another deadly disease was identified. The worst part is the SARS vaccine, considered to be potentially the strongest medicine up to date, had no effect on the new virus. Hence, the next vaccine is to be identified. With changing times, the ailments and disease change. So do the medication and treatment system. The good news is that researchers are constantly coming up with advances in medicine. So it's possible that a disease that can be treated but not cured today may be cured in the future. During our grandparents' time, no surgery was done without knife and blood. But nowadays, the laser technology has its utility. The days have come for the advent anything from an organ transplant to face recovery. Or take the case of a person suffering from failure of both his kidneys. An artificial apparatus called dialyzer could do the function of kidney. Even though the treatment process is quite unaffordable for most of the people in our country, it could be efficient as a temporary alternative until the date of transplant. And so is the development of artificial breathing unit, which provides adequate amount of oxygen in air mixture for the patient to sustain his pulses. Pacemakers are devices that could perform the function of human heart. A premature birth of an infant is no more an issue to be bothered about. Highly sophisticated incubators have been designed to incubate and to observe the development of the baby. The latest to join the field is stem cell technology, where a particular type of cell obtained from a bone marrow, etc., called stem cells are utilized to artificially recreate tissues or even body organs. The stem cell technology is seen as a major breakthrough in the field of medicines, as it could be a vital resource in treatment of blood cancer, marrow cancer, etc. Role of government. The government interference is sure and inevitable factor in health sector. The Health for All program saw several free hospitals being set up. The international organizations like the WHO and UNICEF have extended their hands to help India in this context. These movements have helped the cause some way. However, there is still a lot of work to do in this regard. The first thing that needs to be done is to make the common mass aware about certain things. The country still witnesses shameful acts of killing the girl child. The exact picture of the health condition of India is not a pretty one by one means. The government would need to take the issue very seriously and must come with proper plans to solve this problem. The health problems of India have affected India in other sectors as well. Thus, it is extremely important for us to get rid of this problem. The government had been trying, but it is tough to solve a problem of this magnitude in a country like India, which has such a large population pressure so quickly. Below mentioned are few points on the government participation in health system, strengthening important issues that the health system must confront are lacking of financial and material resources. Health workforce issues and stewardship challenge of implementing pro-equity health policies in a pluralistic environment. The National Rural Health Mission (NRHM), launched by the Government of India, is a leap forward in establishing effective integration and convergence of health services and effecting architectural correction in the healthcare delivery system in India. Health information system health profiles published by the government should be used to help communities prioritize their health problems and to inform local decision making. Public health laboratories have a good capacity to support the government's diagnostic and research activities on health risks and threats, but are not being utilized efficiently. Mechanisms to monitor epidemiological challenges like mental health, occupational health, and other environmental risks are yet to be put in place. Health research systems. There is a need for strengthening research infrastructure in the departments of community medicine in various institutes and to foster their partnerships with state health services. Health promotion stopping the spread of STDs and HIV/AIDS, helping youth recognize the dangers of tobacco smoking and promoting physical activity. Development of community-wide education programs and other health promotions activities need to be strengthened. Much can be done to improve the effectiveness of health promotions by extending it to rural areas as well. Observing days like Diabetes Day and Heart Day, even in villages, will help create awareness at grassroots level. Public health policy identification of health. Objectives and targets is one of the more visible strategies to direct the activities of the health sector. Example, in the United States, the Healthy People 2010 offers a simple but powerful idea by providing health objectives in a format that enables diverse groups to combine their efforts and work as a team. Similarly, in India, we need a roadmap to better health for all that can be used by states, communities, professional organizations, and all sectors. Scope for further action in the health sector. School health, mental health, referral system, and urban health remain as weak links in India's health system. Despite featuring in the national health policy, mental health has remained elusive even after implementing the national mental health program. On a positive note, innovative schemes through public-private partnerships are being tried in various parts of the country in promoting referrals. Similarly, the much-awaited National Urban Health Mission might offer solutions with regards to urban health. Conclusion. In the first section, we saw the common health problems occurring in Indians. We studied the different health issues and how it could affect the development of the entire nation economically and socially. We then learned about the rural health and the typical kind of diseases prevalent in rural areas. In the second part, we studied the various causes of ailments, highlighting on the lifestyle of people. Improper vaccination was also found to be a reason for developing health issues at later stages of life. We even discussed the negligence of healthcare workers and general practitioners in rural areas. In the third section, we discussed various preventive measures to be taken to avoid diseases. We saw how various ailments in newborn babies can be prevented by encouraging mothers to consume nutritious food. We even mentioned the importance of Ayurveda, Unani, and Siddha could be preventive measures followed by tribes and rural people. In the fourth section, we suggested the different cures and treatments of various ailments. It mostly dealt with the innovation in technology to design sophisticated apparatus and devices. We even briefly discussed about stem cell technology. In the last part, we listed the various measures government has taken to reduce the health related risk in our country. The initiatives included awareness of health problems and prioritizing them. Researchers on health conditions could also be very promising.